Hello, 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 Facebook. Man, the time is moving. I'm telling you, boy. As we wait for people to come on, the topic today, what are you tied down to? Okay? And I'm telling you, this lesson for tonight, Bible study with LaShaunessye. And I just definitely thank my pastors, okay? Pastor Maurice and Shireen Hicks, Breaking Through Barrier Ministry, just thanking them for allowing me to share their platform, okay? And look, we got Leap coming up in September, you all. So I know that you should be seeing different advertisement on Facebook. I want to say as well as YouTube, okay? Uh, Definitely come out, man. Get prophesized to, get a head start of what your next year will look like, okay? So I'm excited. I'm excited about this lesson. What are you tied down to? And once we go through these lists, because sometimes people don't know what they actually give attention to. And I'm gonna share something of mine that I definitely give attention to. And I hate to just say that that's the person that I am, because sometimes when you tell people, you could be so bold about it, and sometimes people just don't want to hear. And I'm just telling you, I was like, look, about me being 56, I try to be, I think about people's feelings before I say certain stuff, but whew, that's all I got for y'all, because it's like, okay. And so as I see people coming in, thank you for just coming in and joining us on tonight. Thank you, thank you. What are you tied down to? All right, Steph. Hello, hello. And I'm telling you, this is going to give us some eye openers, as well as helping us to not become in bondage on some things. Okay. And so I had to deal with some things on my own and for myself. And I was like, it just helps you identify certain things that you give attention to. Okay. All right. D. Okay. Good evening, sis. We talking about what are you tied down to? Okay, as I see people coming on, in about 2 more minutes, we're gonna get started. Okay, Cherry. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, I'm telling you, Cherry, when I had to really, what they say, dissect self, and and I know the stuff that I am guilty of giving attention to or people, and I was like, I know that that's the kind side of me. But you all, let me tell you, this ain't no joke. When you are getting older, it's just some things that it get hard for you to entertain. And for me, I was like, ooh, okay. And when people move out of your life, it's kind of easy. Come on in, come on in. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's kind of easy to get rid of those things. Once people move out of your life, it's like, you know what? I'm not going to be put in that position no more. And, it's like, okay, Lord, you gave me the bridge, you gave me the leeway. Okay, I ain't dealing with that no more. I was like, oh, best thing I could do is tell that person, you should have been here when they was here, because that's over with. Okay. And so as we dive in, uh, I was like, and just a list of things, which people will think about, what you tie to, what you give your energy to. Thank you. Come on in, come on in. I see people diving in, and 1 minute we're gonna just go ahead and get started. Um, Man, just knowing, and then you all will be able to answer some things as well, on your Facebook page, or um, take some notes down as well. And look, this is nothing when it comes down to the Bible study and just learning about God. this helps all of us. Okay, we just want to be better at some things. Okay, we're not perfect, but we want to be better. Okay, at some things. And then it's like when you are given the answers to certain things, it's like, okay, you know what? Uh, I'm gonna do better. You know, and that's what it's all about. Once you deal with your strength and you know the things that you have to work on for yourself, okay? And so we're gonna dive on in and I started off with Colossians 5:1. You all, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. And look, the only thing that we can really be free from the different things that tie us down, we gotta live by faith, you all. We gotta have faith in us. We gotta know that those things are gonna be released, or those individuals are gonna be released out of our life. Okay. Thank you. That's Galatians 5:1. Okay. And I want to dive into Second Timothy 2, the second chapter and 26th verse, that they may come to their senses and escape the snare of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. This highlights, thank you. This highlights the spiritual ties that can bind individuals to negative influences. Okay, look, y'all, we talking real talk. Thank you. Wrong thinking, you are easily to be influenced. Did you all hear that? Wrong thinking will cause you to be easily influenced. And look, be careful when those people that you come into and they trying to give you their bright ideas. And I know I have said this before and time again, and will constantly keep saying it. You know if something don't sound right, okay? You know if something don't look good, and go with your gut feeling. Because sometimes we try to give people the benefit of the doubt, okay? But the doubt had went first, okay? So you go with your gut feeling. You know, man, you know if that stuff don't sound right. I used to be that person, you all, and now I'm telling you, as I got older, I think about people's feelings. But I used to be that person, you all, that would call out certain stuff. I just say to individuals, say to people, does that make sense to you? You know, because sometimes you got to call people on some stuff because they would just keep at it. Okay, and I was like, that just don't sound right. Just think about it. I was like, no, I can't amen to that. I can't agree to that. And you know, some people be so quick to agree to just anything and everything. So it comes down to, what are you tied down to? I know the obligations of being there for a friend or being there for somebody close to you, but it's like, to what extent? I mean, you gonna die down with a lie to the end? I'm just saying, okay. John, the 8th chapter and the 36th verse. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. This verse reassures believers of the freedom available through faith in Jesus. So you all, and if you can just type it down, true freedoms comes through who? I'm gonna give you a hint. Start with the chat. Can y'all just type that in the chat? True freedom comes through who? Okay. And I'm like, once you sit up here and you, man, whether you repent, whether you pray, whether you put it out there, man, Jesus, okay, because everybody should have knew that answer. Your true freedom comes through Jesus. I don't want nobody to tell you different, okay? That's who it comes from. Ooh. Now, okay, true freedom comes through who? Jesus. Okay, and I know it may not be easy, you all, to give your worries. I'm not going to sit up here and portray to be something different. I know sometimes we worry, sometimes we take struggles on, sometimes we take worries on. But I'm telling you, you are, man, you are like pressing yourself just down, because those things we don't have control over. If you want it to be, if you want to be free from it, man, the best solution. Well, I sit up here, I worry about so many like different, I'm gonna say different things as far as I don't know why I do this. I don't know if it'd be a test to myself or whatever. But I'll be honest. When it comes down to like when you're in charge of the business and payroll and stuff like that, I'll be like, Lord, please just meet the payroll. And then when it get punched close to time and stuff, and I'll be like, okay, Lord, okay, what I'm gonna do? And do you know I do all that stuff for nothing? Because you all, I'm doing this for 26 years. Come December, and I promise you, sitting up here trying to be tied down to worrying about stuff. I promise you, God has turned through. I would chuckle to myself when I be like, girl, why you do all that? You already know that he's gonna come through. It'll never be a time that he hasn't. Think about it. I told you come December 18th of this year will be 26 years. Okay? Multiply 365 days times 26 years. That's my testimony. Okay? That's my evidence. What the young kids say, that's my receipts. Okay? So, man, some things you all, we just got to release. Okay? Just release it. Okay? And look, this was one thing that I learned, and I want you all to really listen to this just through my studies. We do not have to remain prisoners of our past, our mistakes, or things that weigh us down. Did y'all hear me? You do not have to stay there. Okay? You do not have to be a prisoner of it. I don't want nobody to sit up here and think that they just deserve it. You don't deserve it. Okay? You deserve freedom. God, man, Jesus gave it to us. Okay? He don't want us to be sitting up here in bondage. Once he gave the freedom, utilize it. Okay? Now guess what? I'm about to come down some people's lane right here. Because I'm about to list some things that some of us may be tied down to. And look, you can share or you can sit wherever you at and just say, okay, you can think about it. Am I tied down by sin? Okay, price offering, absolutely. Am I tied down by fear or worry? You all, am I tied down by unforgiveness? You all, I used to be that person. This is true testimony as well. I used to be that person that held grudges. Ooh, y'all, I could hold a grudge. I used to get hold a grudge. If it was a contest on who can hold a grudge, my picture, you all, would be there. But I'm gonna share this story on how I got past unforgiveness. Okay, and it's sad to say, but it's a testimony as well of being ill with cervical cancer and coming across, and I know I shared this story plenty of times, coming across a person who literally came to see me every day. Okay, and her and I was not talking. I didn't even speak to her. When I tell y'all I didn't speak to her for over 12 years, I'm telling you my testimony. And the very person that I did not speak to in the 12 years was the very person that Jesus sent in my room every day that I was in that hospital to check on me. And before I went in, before I had surgery, I apologized to everybody. I promise you, I didn't want nothing negative to be hanging on me. So anybody that I thought that I didn't care for at that time, or anybody that I thought they felt that I did them wrong, I went before them, okay? And I apologized, and then I apologized to God as well. But when I went under the knife, it was a clean slate, okay? Just being 100 with you. Am I tied down to my past? No, we got to think about some stuff. When we go through some stuff, and definitely some things that we don't have no control over. Okay, learning, trial and error. Am I tied down by people or relationships that pull me away from God? Now that's deep because sometimes people like to just fit in, and sometimes you could come across individuals. Got an example of when we was in the home daycare. One of my teachers, no, she didn't believe in God, and so I found myself, even though it's my dad's house, I felt myself not really talking about it. And then you all, I had to check myself. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not about to feel uncomfortable in my dad's house just because this person doesn't have a relationship with God. I had to really dig deep. And I said, if anything, she about to feel uncomfortable because I'm gonna talk about my God. And sure enough, okay, Pastor, sure enough, you all, I had talked to her about Jesus Christ and God, realizing nobody had never really told her about it. And I was like, wow, Lord. So even though I was sitting up here and didn't want to talk about it, couldn't hold her accountable because she told me, growing up as a little girl, as an adult, she wound up attaching herself to Buddhism with idols. It was because she went to college with someone, and that's what they were worshiping. But once I finished telling her about Jesus Christ, I told her, I said, you are now held accountable. You can no longer say that you don't know about Jesus Christ. And she had thanked me because she was like, she just did not know. And I told her I was just grateful that she took the time to listen. I wasn't trying to push my religion on her. I just told her, you know what? You are an employee of my family. And I felt awkward to be sitting up here talking about Jesus and you told me what you were into. And I was like, I can't do it no longer. I told her I just can't pretend no more. I said, hey, I have to talk about the goodness. Okay. And I told her if she feel uncomfortable, if she wants to quit, I am a-okay with it. But I was like, no longer will I be silent when it comes to talking about Jesus. And so I'm like, am I tied down by addiction or unhealthy habits? Mm, look, I said I was coming down everybody aisle, okay? We know if we got some unhealthy habits like me, sweets. And I had slow down. Every now and then I get that sweet tooth. But compared to how I used to eat sweets, man, I used to, thank you. Used to eat sweets like every day. When I tell you I may get it in maybe once or twice out the month, I came a long way. Okay. Am I tied down by, this is a good one. Are you tied down by the opinion of others? What people think about you, to me, that sounds like a personal problem. It don't sound like your problem. But I'm just saying, some people are tied down to what people think of them. And I was like, you got to be careful when you take on characteristics that other people say about you. I mean, the only person who knows the strings of your hair and knows you is Jesus and yourself. So I tell the kids all the time when a kid is man, they call them out their name or whatever the case may be. I was like, look, don't take ownership onto that because see, you telling somebody about you. When you show a reaction, You are saying to that person, this is true about me. So be careful what you allow to tie you down, especially when it comes to other people's words and what they think of you. Okay, 9 out of 10. And Pastor was just talking about this. He was talking about bullying. Okay, this past Sunday. And that's a form of bullying, especially if a person wants you to take on some characteristics about yourself that you know is not true. Okay, so be careful about that. Am I tied down by material things or worldly desires? Mm, we all might be a little guilty of that one because I know I like certain stuff. Okay, the invisible bully, absolutely, absolutely. Am I tied down by guilt, shame, or condemnation? And ooh, yeah, that don't personally fit me. But I'm sure that we have some people in the world that are ashamed of some things that they have been caught up in. Um, and I could say in my younger days. Right now, I give accountability to myself, I guess because I'm surrounded by more of God's people as well as children. So it's just certain things that I really I check myself because you never know who watching you. Okay, you just never know, and you never know with me dealing with children, what kid might run up to me, and then I gotta, So some things I just, I try to be mindful of. You all, just in case you don't know, Jesus came to bring us freedom. If we didn't have Jesus in our life, y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100. We'd be lost. We would truly be lost in this world. And so keep that in mind. Ooh, y'all, I'm about to come real deep. And you could be honest with yourself. You ain't even gotta tell me, but I just need you to be honest with yourself. What is entangling you that you need to let go of? Ooh, that deep, 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 deep. Okay. What is entangling you that you need to say bye bye? Okay. Bye bye. In that order. I'm just saying, when do you feel it would be a time to let go? Man, we need deliverance. Yes, yes. When do you think that it is time to let go of those things that is holding you back? I'm not gonna say that you're gonna do it right away. I mean, look, you had it so long, you held on it for so long, so you know it ain't gonna take you like a blink of an eye because you took on ownership so long. But when are you gonna say, enough is enough? I'm tired of being tied down. Guess what? It's not even making no sense to you no more. And you like, why did I do this energy? Why did I allow this thing to just become to take over my life or to take over my thoughts? I'm just saying, okay, what are you being tied down to? God wants to bring hope to those that are hurting. And you get that from Isaiah 61 and 1. It said, He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners. There's so many people, you all, in this world that is hurting. You come across so many people, look, just by having a general conversation, you could tell who is hurting or who is really going through some stuff. Just by the things that they say or the way that they move or the things that they do. And you could just look at that individual and say, wow, that person really going through some stuff. Okay, not trying to pass judgment on anybody, but some people just wearing those emotions and those things on their sleeves, and you could just feel it when you walk by or just a conversation, and that's just being real. You can feel when people are really going through some things. And take for instance, we all within these last 2 to 3 weeks were hit with this storm. We all had to take some deep breaths. Okay, look, being tied down to knowing that we don't want to be in darkness. Okay, knowing that, man, some of us had to get rid of food or certain things. But look, there's some things that we we just didn't have no control over. So that's why I said, don't be sitting up here wasting time on being tied down to things that you don't have no control over. You might as well think about it and release it. Okay? Think and release. God's grace gives us freedom and the strength overcomes its control. And that's Romans, the 6th chapter, and the 14th verse. It says, for sin shall no longer be your master. Did y'all hear me? Sin shall no longer be your master because you are not under the law, but under grace. Stop letting things and people and circumstances and situations, stop letting it control you. Okay? I promise you, when you start releasing some of those things, pick something and just say, you know what? For myself, I'm going to just lay this down. Okay, you might want to do something once a week. Say, you know what? This been tied to me long enough. I'm going to just lay it down. Okay? Some, if you got some children, you know some of their behaviors, their attitudes. I mean, the devil, he really is getting into these children. Okay? Some things you won't just have to love on me. You're like, you know what? I just got to lay this down. Because, see, if I don't, it's going to control and consume me. And then I'm not going to be no good to myself. But I ain't going to be no earthly good for nobody. Because I'm taking on so much. Here's something. Unforgiveness can keep us emotionally tied to what happened. Did y'all hear that? If you don't forgive it, you're going to be tied to it for a long, long, long time. And so you got to think to yourself, is it worth it? Come on now. Is it worth it? To have that forgiveness, to have so much control over you. Release it. Okay, like Moses in the Red Sea, I mean, and God forgiving our sins, I mean, just release it. I promise you, your health will start being better, your thinking will start being better, just a whole bunch of things will start lining up. And you'll be like, wow, I didn't realize that had much weight on it. Okay? We calling truth out today. Look, release your right to carry the bitterness. Having and keeping it. I learned something, you know. You can sit up here with the situation and the person, and you can sit up here and think that they're thinking about what they have done to you or what took place or what happened. I promise you, I'm saying it, LaShaunessye, Sister LaShaunessye, I am saying it to you. They ain't losing no sleep. I'm being 100 with you. They ain't even thinking about what you thinking about. So you might as well release it. They are living their life. They ain't going on with their life. They ain't thinking about what they said, how they hurt you, what they said, what they did, and you giving up all this energy and allowing it to affect you. And they not giving 2 cents of it. Okay? The goal isn't to erase the The goal is to stop what happened from controlling your present. We're going to start right now stopping our past for controlling our present. That's what it's all about. If you're getting stuck, tied down to something that is in the past, how you gonna make it, or how you gonna get the future or the present if you still stuck to what's behind you? I'm just saying. Don't you want to see what God got for you? Don't you want to see those things? Well, we can't see it, you all, and this is true talking. We can't see it if we're not willing to let go things that happened to us in the past, or people who did us wrong in the past. Stop giving that the energy. Okay? Yes. Okay, the Lord, stop giving that the energy. Okay? I'm telling you, once you let that go, you're gonna feel lighter. You're gonna be like, I didn't realize. Okay? Yes, and more. You gonna say to yourself, I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that I gave so much energy to that. I allowed that thing to tie me down. And First Corinthians, the 6th chapter, and 12th verse, I will not be mastered by anything. You all, that was deep. I kind of read that a couple of times today. First Corinthians 6th chapter, 12th verse. I will not be mastered by anything. And so I'm going to let you know that's even including you all anger and hurt. More things as well. Okay? Let it go. That's right. Might as well. Well, might as well. Why you gonna lose some sleep over it? Because I promise you, that situation, that thing, and that person, I promise you, they ain't losing no sleep. But if we don't let it go, we are. And we gotta stop letting anger, hurt, and what others people say, do, how they say it, what they do. We gotta stop allowing that to control us. And once they see that what they say and do, you not even giving no attention to it, you not even giving no light to it, they're gonna go about their business. Okay, just like that. They're gonna be like, oh wow, I can't be that trigger to them no more. Now you had your, what I tell the kids or tell people, you had your 5 minutes of fame. That's it. That's it. I'm not giving the energy to it no longer. So you all, what are you tied down to that God is calling you to let go of? And notice I said some things you might want to type it down, some things you might want to write, because we know those things. We don't need other people to tell us those things. We know. And sometimes God cannot take us into, I want y'all to listen to this one. Sometimes God cannot take us into the next season while we continue holding onto the chain of the last one. So some of y'all may feel stuck and you certain things not happening. Oh, why this not happening? I thought this would have been happening by now. Some things we just got to research and say, you know what? How I'm moving? What way am I moving? Do I got some things that is blocking? Sometimes, man, we gotta analyze ourselves. We don't need other people. We know. Look, y'all, I know my junk. Do you all know your junk? Because I know my junk. I know the stuff that I allow to entertain me. People, places, and things. I that was one thing I said to my sister. I said, you know what? I am guilty of, and y'all might say, Sister Williams is a fool, but I'm just being truthful. I know I'm guilty of listening to people that I know that they are lying to me, but I be thinking it's funny. I be thinking it's entertainment. And I call, especially when I'm ready for people to no longer be working for me, I call those things out because I be like, look, I can't keep sitting up here pretending. You know the stuff that you saying to me is not truthful. And I just will call it out. And sometimes I say ones that leave from around me no longer work for me. Sometimes it hurt their feelings, but I promise you, I don't be trying to hurt their feelings. I'm being honest. Sometimes you have to call those things out on people because I just need them to grow up. Okay. And if it's a young person and they used to work for me, I definitely try to instill some things in there. Okay. Because look, when you reach a certain age, when you sitting up here 21 and you saying older and you saying, oh, nobody never ever taught me that. I'm just saying, at what age do we take on ownership? Okay. On what age do we stop letting things tie us down? Because see, you can't hold on to your parents or your guardian by saying, I was never taught or shown that. So it's like, okay, so what, you just gonna keep doing it, huh? You gonna keep tying yourself to that, and you know it ain't right. Okay. As you come in, people come in, we talking about what are you tied down to? And so we at this moment, you all, we just want Jesus to break some chains. That's pretty much what we want. We want him to break some chains off of us, okay, and release some of those things. And look, I don't even care if you and your man. I know my I definitely know my junk, okay. I don't care, you all, if you are in a private seat of your home and you know some things that you want to release or let go, write it down. And look, write it down and just tear it up and say, look, I'm done with this. You have sucked up my energy for the last time. Okay. I am done with that. So here are some more stuff that we might be tied down to. Are we tied down to our past? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's sin. We talked about anger and unforgiveness. Maybe it's worry. Maybe it's people opinions. We talked about that. We talked about habits or relationships. We talked about guilt or shame. But one thing for sure, you don't have to stay tied down. Did y'all hear me? You may go through some stuff. Ain't nobody perfect but Jesus. But you don't have to remain there. Why you say, Sister Williams, why? Because Jesus set you free and free indeed. That's what we are. Free indeed. So I don't want you to be sitting up here saying, wow, I got to get clarity for something or someone. I'm telling you now, your clarity comes through Jesus. You want to be free from some circumstances, some things, man, take it to him. He the best person to free you from it. Okay? I know sometimes you all will be trying to put our hands in it. We think that we can make it move a little quicker, or we can, I don't know, we could make some things happen or turn some things around. And I promise you, you just delaying. Okay? The more you put yourself in it, the more the delay. But if you want a quick answer, take it to Jesus. Take it to him. I promise you, you'll get that quick answer. So you all came up with a story, and I just wanted you all to, I'm going to read it to you because I thought, what is a better way to give an example of something or someone who literally have things tied down? And there's so many people just in the Bible, you all, just man, just so many people as far as being tied down and circumstances. And we're going to go through a few as well. But let me just paint this story for you. Absolutely, take it to him. Imagine a person walking down a road while carrying several heavy chains. One chain represents fear, another past mistakes, another unforgiveness, another sin, and another worry. The person becomes so accustomed to carrying the chains that they begin to believe This is just who I am. Then Jesus comes and says, give them to me. Person says, but I carried them for so long. Jesus responds, have to carry them anymore. One by one, the chains are released. The person is finally able to walk freely. Not because the chains were never real, but because Jesus was stronger than the chains. I want you all to take that message on. I want you to digest it. I want you to marinate it on it, because don't become comfortable with God came to deliver you from. Did y'all hear that? Don't become comfortable. I don't care if it's a person, place, or thing. Don't become comfortable, especially when God has came in the picture to remove it from you. So you can move on to your next season. So you can move on to your next chapter in life. Okay? Ain't no sense of holding on to something or something, somebody, anything, if it ain't worth being held on to. Release the thing, the situation, the relationship, whatever it is, release it. I promise you, you will get through it. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it a sense of peace? Yes. I'm going to tell you that much right then and there. Peace, I'm always looking for peace. Man, quiet storms. I know storms going to come, but I'm going to get through them peacefully, and I'm going to be able to think about it. Y'all don't believe me? I'm finna test. I'm about to test the water now. Think of that time when you didn't know how a bill was gonna get paid. Think of that time of a situation that took place, whether it was with a friend or whatever, and you didn't know how, if the friendship was going to end or whatever the case may be. Then you get through it. And you all, that's what I use to help me. When I go through stuff, I'll be like, Shawnee, you've been here before. Girl, why you tripping? I had a conversation with myself. Girl, why you tripping? You been here. Don't act like you ain't been here before, girl. You've been here. God had got you through it. And I take on those same philosophy and I'll be like, this familiar to me. I got through it and I'm going to get through it again. Just like that. Okay? Just like that. So, you may ask, who are some people in the Bible that was tied down to some things? Okay? We got the Israelites. Okay? That is the truth. Absolutely. Okay? They were free from slavery. They was tied down to it until God sent Moses. And remember I talked about the Red Sea, how he brought them through freedom. So we're talking about God gives us different story scenarios in the Bible, things, people, places being tied down to certain things and seeing people come out of it. If you want to see the end results, read people's stories. Okay? People got some stuff to, I'm talking about people in the Bible, and I'm talking about human beings who have went through some stuff. They could tell you, hey, how they had to sleep in a car, how they are millionaires today, how some of them couldn't read, how God had changed the circumstance situation and they became stars. Man, how some were prostitute, Maya Angelou. And her poems go on and on as of today. Movies, everything. Okay? Sometimes you could be in a situation for so long that you begin to think you will never get out. But God can make a way where there seems to be no way. And y'all know God will fight for you. Just release it. Turn it over to him. And I promise you, your load will get lighter. It will definitely get lighter. So we're going to talk about Joseph, that how he was free from his past. Genesis 37 through 50. When it came down, he could have been bound down by bitterness, anger, and rejections, especially when his brothers, man, sold him and had him put into a pit, but they sold him into slavery. And then at the end, didn't God do it for him? At the end, he became a leader in Egypt at the end. So what this lesson tells us, you can be hurt by what happened to you without allowing what happened to you to control your future. Think about it. If Joseph had got stuck with what his brothers had did to him, if he just was bounded by that and not being that person to tell the dreams and everything, he wouldn't have had a good ending. But that's who he was as a person. That was his character. Okay? That's how come I told you some things that I just may not be able to get past because I'm that person to listen to people. Okay? David, he was free from guilt and failure. And you can find those in 2 Samuel 11 through the 12th chapter and Psalms 51. The, the guilt and the shame when he was dealing with Bathsheba. Y'all know he could have allowed that to destroy him, but he didn't. Why? Because all God wants us to do is to confess out this mouth. Don't let the devil tell your story. Don't let the rocks cry out for you. I tell the devil all the time, you got the wrong one. Before I let you tell it, I'm gonna tell my own story. Okay, the good, the bad, or the ugly. But I ain't gonna let you get no glory out of it. I'm just saying. So what the lesson for that is, your mistakes does not have to become your. Did y'all listen? Listen. Your mistakes have to become your identity. That's not who you are. It might be a part of your story, but what's that? Watch this. Turn that page. Okay. Turn the page. It does not have to be your story. Turn it. We know when we repent, we ask God for forgiveness, we restoration begins. Just turn that page. And if you need some help, Psalm 51, the 51st chapter and the 10th verse, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. You want to be cleaned up? Go to God. He will clean you up. Okay? We know about the woman at the well, free from her past, man. The Samaritan, she had some stuff going on. Okay? Until she encountered Jesus. And so we know with that story, the lesson from that is Jesus know your past, but he can still give you a new purpose. Did y'all hear me? He can still give you a new purpose in life, regardless of your past. Let it go. What about the woman in John, the 8th chapter, 1 through 11? How she was caught up in adultery and free from condemnation. Jesus did not approve her sin, but he also did not condemn her. He told her, go and sin no more. Once you release and you let God know, we're talking about we ain't not gonna let no things tie us down. Even when people think that they are getting over on you, you're like, I'm not gonna get stuck there. Yeah, you might feel that you got over on me, or yeah, you might feel that you got the best of me. But guess what? I'm not gonna get stuck there. Okay? Because see, if we all tell it, What's that? Tell it like it is. If we all tell it, we all got some things in our closet that we pray to God never come forth. I told y'all, I'm keeping this real and 100. I don't want nobody to be sitting up here talking about, oh, Sister LaShaunessye or breaking through barriers. Oh, they just say stuff to, you know, I guess get your goat, make you feel good. But you're not gonna learn by that way. We got to tell some of our testimonies. We got to tell some of the things that we encountered, so other people will know. Yeah, we've been through some stuff, and we got out of some things. So Jesus offered both mercy and new beginnings. New beginnings. Y'all know every day you wake up is a new beginning. Thank God for grace and mercy. Okay? What has controlled you does not have to control you forever. It may be for that moment. You may not have to shake yourself out of it. You're like, oh Lord, shake me, shake me, shake me, shake me. And just step on it and keep moving. But just ask God, be like, oh Lord, I'm gonna need you to shake me up out of this. Because I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. But he knows. We know about Peter. Of course, when he denied Jesus. Okay. But guess what? The end of the story said, failure is not the end of your story. Even just because things didn't happen or go your way, or situation or the circumstance didn't go how you thought it should go, that's still not the end of your story. What you gonna do? Just stop living? No, we're gonna keep going. Because God can restore you and use you again in that order. His entire direction, it can change you. It can change you so that people won't even remember things that you did in your past. If that's a desire that you want God to have people to forget about, it can happen just like that. Only you will be sitting up here talking about what you did in the past, what you used to be or used to do, or all that. Won't nobody else be bringing it up but you. I'm just saying. It's time for us to let go of some things, to release some things, to be that better person. Okay? Be the better and the best you can be. That's all that matters. Because why? Because God can completely change the direction of your life right now. If it's some things, man, that you want, that you hoping for, he can do it for you. I'm telling you now, my Jesus can do it. So I'm gonna ask you all this question before we get up out of here. Are you willing to give it to Jesus? And this your girl Shawnee, just man, Shawnee just talking to you, one to another. Are you willing to release those things? Or do you still want your hand in it? Do you still want to be tied down by those things? Do you still want to be in bondage when Jesus already gave you the freedom? He can change your course of your life. It don't have to stay the same. Stop giving energy to those things that you no longer want man to have control over you. I promise you. Just take, what they say with the mustard seed, but just take an inch and he will meet you. He will meet man. No hand in it, okay? He will meet you right there. So I'm just asking you, today, my pastors, okay, Breaking Through Barrier Ministry, $BTBM Ministries. We got the LEAP conference coming up, September the 19th. I'm just saying, if there's some things that you want to be released from, some bondage, some things that you was like, Lord, you know what? I have had enough. Lord, I need you. I can't do this by myself. Release it today. I'm not going to even tell you, oh, let's wait for some weeks to come or whatever. You know those things that are tying you down, the situation, circumstances, release it. And while you all are doing that, I'm going to be doing some things on my own as well. Okay? I want to light a load. I told y'all we all got some junk, right? But I was like, I personally want to light a load. I asked God to help me be better, be a better person. I was like, it's not easy. Some people look at me and they be like, oh, LaShaunessye, you got nothing but patience. I'll be looking at them like, whoa. They be like, you don't think you have patience? I don't. But I'm glad you see that in me. And I'm glad that God allows you to see it into me because I don't want to be sitting up here tied down to some things. And I want to be that better person for people, even when I know that they are going through a bad day. I'm like, if I can be that person that people, man, be okay, that people can look at and feel some just joy, thinking that I got it all put together, then so be it. If that's what they see when they see me, I'm like, Lord, thank you for allowing them to see you in me. Okay? That's all. I have to give it to him. Thank you for a man to just see you in me. Okay? Because I promise you, it's not like trying to see by myself. Okay? I'm being 100 with you. So I want us to, ooh, I'm going to leave us with this line right here because I think it's just so powerful. And I want you to marinate on it. And we talked about it throughout this lesson. But I want you to know you don't have to stay tied to what Jesus came to free you from. I'm going to just leave that right there. What they say, I'm going to just drop the mic right there. I'm letting you know, first of all, Jesus is letting you know because he paid it all for us. That you don't have to be tied down. You can release it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if somebody being sitting up here just telling you some stuff, holding some things over your head. You can release it on today. What they say, freedom rings. Today is it. Freedom rings. Love you all. Hope this lesson was, man, I hope it hit home. I know it hit home for me because it was teaching me, my teaching, man, for myself. And I'm just grateful to once again be on this platform with my pastors allowing me to be here. And look, I'm gonna throw it out there. She might kick me, but Dee, I know y'all see Dee on here. I know that she's coming into what God is calling her to do as well. So I know she was teaching on first um, Tuesday. So I'm hoping y'all see her again as well. And you all, Cherry, we got so many that's on here. I don't want to start calling people out, but when I tell you we have some dynamic women, and I'm saying you all as well, you can teach God's word as well when you come across someone. Think about it, this lesson right here. You can tell people when you hear their stories and they come to you and they tell you certain things, you can tell them, look, stop being tied down to that. Jesus freed you. Stop giving energy to that. You now have something that you can pour into someone. Letting them know, even when you didn't have anything to talk to them about. But you listening to people and they telling you. And you just let them know. Thank you, Dolores Green, one of my teachers. You just let them know. You don't have to be tired by that. Let it go. And you know what? I actually got somebody that I'll be saying that to too. So thank you for that, Lord. Thank you. I didn't even realize it. So now I know why this lesson. Okay. Oh, and Cherry, yes, a Sister Circle is teaching on Esther every other Wednesday. Absolutely. Okay. And I know that that will be opening up to the public. I know soon. I know you all. We are our church is fasting. We asking God for some things, especially for our LEAP conference. And so I know that every day noon, I want to say that prayer is happening. I know that our pastors for the next month will be praying on Saturdays as well. So breaking through barriers, man, we got some things going on, okay? We are definitely mighty and powerful when it comes to numbers and putting God's word out there. So you all good night and enjoy the rest of your evening. It's been a pleasure. Amen.